Hello and welcome back to Hapless Security. This is Hap, and today I'm taking a look at a pair of laminated locks. These are Hapless locks made in Germany. It even says made in Germany right on the bottom there. What do you know? 45 millimeters, the number 41, model number 41. These actually came with keys, which is good. In fact, I think they're even keyed alike. Oh my goodness, they are. I didn't know that until just this minute. Looking at the keys, I literally just opened the box. Yeah, they are. They are keyed alike, which is cool. But, you know, we don't really need the keys. But let's take a look at them anyway. So, as you can see, there is nice bitting here. Just grab a pointy stick, also known as a pick. I even use this pick. So as you can see, there's a nice high cut, and then a nice low cut, and then a couple of really high cuts at the end there. So this will be a fun challenge to pick, I think. You know, I don't know a lot about the Model 41. I've picked a couple of them. They're actually a little rare here in Canada. So I don't know if they have security pins or not have security pins, but I guess we're going to find out. Something interesting about these too is that they have 4 very deep rivets on them, or very thick rivets on them, which is actually pretty cool. Another thing I noticed is, okay, you see how I'm holding the shackles and they open opposite from each other? And then you look at the bases, and you will see that in this one, the keyhole is pointing away from the shackle side that stays stationary, and away from the shackle side that stays stationary. But the base plates are reversed. See? If I were to hold them so that they are oriented mechanically in the same direction, see the keyholes are pointing that way, then the base plates are upside down. Just an interesting manufacturer's quirk. Anyway, these are very good locks. They feel very good in the hand. They're crazy heavy. They still have these little plasticky shrouds on them, you know, like most laminated locks do. For instance, this thing. But like the solidness and the weight difference is huge. I'd also like to point out that there's nothing wrong with a laminated lock. They've gotten a bad rap because of a certain company who makes rather garbagey laminated locks and has some rather misleading advertising quirks that go with it. But there's actually nothing wrong with the design. In fact, I consider it to be a very, very good design. It's a great way to make an inexpensive steel padlock. So it's just a bunch of stacked, quite often hardened. In fact, I haven't checked these. I don't have my files handy, but I'll say it's probably hardened. Steel plates that are stacked on each other, and it creates a laminated lock. And they're extremely durable, very tough. There's really no mocking these. So one thing though about this lock is you'll notice that my light stanchion just fell over. Sorry. May have got a little dark there for a second. That's okay. We'll bring the lights back in. There we are. Sorry about that. You may notice that there is a square cutout, so there is no ball in this. These are spring-loaded locking pawls. So that's the note. I haven't actually tried to bypass these. I might actually do that. Well, here, let's just feel to the back there and see if we can feel if it is open or shielded. Okay, that feels pretty closed up, actually. I'm not feeling anything at the back there, like a notch or a recess where I can get at the locking pawl. Let's just one last orientation to make sure. So yeah, I'm going to say these are probably not bypassable, but they could be shimmable. I'm not sure. We can actually try that. Why don't we try that? Let's pull out our padlock shims here. Gonna use some Sparrow's padlock shims. Let's see what we got. Is that a good size for this? Oh, that's a perfect size for this. Okay, let's lock her up. It does have a locking pawl on both sides, so we'll need to do both sides. And there is enough room to get these in there, which is interesting. Okay, first problem is when we normally shim a padlock, we put the shim in and we rotate it around. But that's not going to work here. As you can see, it pops when I go to rotate it, it pops my shim right out. So, and I will show you why that does that. That is because Get the key out here. That is because what they've done with their locking pawls is there is actually a lip right here on the edge of the locking pawl that prevents this shim from coming around and pushing it away. Now it just did it, but when it's pushed against the sidewall here, it comes in and it catches in that little notch, and it won't actually work, and so it pushes it out. So let's see if we can, because it is a very light spring on that pawl, we might be able to still do this by either coming straight down or just putting a lot of pressure on it when we rotate it. So let's come in here and we will rotate it with a lot of downward force. Let's see if we can do it. Aha! And we appear to have succeeded somewhat. Ooh. And I bent a shim. Well, look at that. I broke a shim. That's even worse than bending a shim. So a lot of downward force was probably not the greatest idea. That's okay. That shim was on its last legs. This is why I buy bulk. So let's try coming straight down on that one and see how it works. Oh, and wouldn't you know, it does not. Come at it from the other side, maybe? Come at it from the other side? No. Doesn't want to cooperate from the other side either. Okay, I'm going to say these are not really shimmable. I mean, I haven't tried it on both of them, but the other thing I want to find out is, can you get a shim in both? Because that would be another deal breaker, too, is that if you can't get a shim in both. Oh, no, you can get a shim in both. Yeah, not going to go. Okay, that's all right. Let's call this one not shimmable. This goes in the pile of broken lockpick tools. All right, so what's next? Well, you could try wrapping it, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to go straight to picking. I mean, this is kind of a picking channel. I mean, it's a bypassing channel as well. It's defeating security channel is what it's really about. But let's try and pick it. Now, you'll notice it is a Yale type keyway. And remember when I was trying to get to the back there, I was having all that trouble getting down there? This pick is too thick. This is a Peterson short hook in 25 thousandths. This pick is too thick to get all the way up into that working area. So we're going to have to try something a little thinner. Let's try what about a very low profile half diamond from Peterson in 18 thousandths? What's that do for us? Oh, that gives us really good access. Okay. This might be our pick, friends. Should I do them both? Let's see how long the first one takes, and then we'll go from there. So let's find a tension wrench. I'm going to try bottom of the keyway. How's that one look? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Bottom of the keyway. I'm just going to go in here and see what we get. Light tension. I'm getting everything binding with light tension, so let's up that tension slightly. You know, this half diamond might not work. It might not get them high enough. We gotta get that last one that's behind the uber low. Let's see here. Okay, no, I'm already getting problems. So let's try something a little bit different here. What do we have here? We have, let's see, a multi-pick Elite. This is the PN06. It's in 0.06 millimeters, or 0.6 millimeters, sorry. Like these multi-picks. It's got that nice deep hook on it too, so if we can get it in here and around, which we certainly can, okay, then it'll help us get those pins at the back, because I have a feeling that one at the back was the binder. So let's see, I'm on the last pin. Is it binding? Oops, got stuck there. Last pin, I think is binding. There we go. We got a click out of the last one. Oh, we got another click out of the last one. There might be serrateds in here. I don't know if they have security pins or not. I hit pin 4 and she popped open. That's interesting. Okay. Didn't even hit pins 1, 2, or 3, which is weird because they are all very different cuts. So let's try the second one. Let's pin the same. What they say, German pick, German lock, right? So let's pick that last pin. Let's try the same thing we did. Okay. Number 5 is picked. Number 4, picked. Number 3. Ooh, deep falset. And we did it again. Okay. We're not even getting to pick 1 and 2 on these. So I'm not thinking there's anything too secure. If there are security pins, they're not really good security pins. So let's see what a rake does to these little guys. Find a nice shallow one that we can get in there. What about an 18,000 sinusoidal? Let's try that. This is also a Peterson. So, super light tension. Just raking her up. Raking up a storm. Yeah, so they are rakeable. Because we picked the first one and the second one, let's go back and rake the second one now. Well, that was even easier, wasn't it now? Oh, I would like my rake back, sir. Thank you. Well, that's a pretty short video, I'd say. What are we at, 11 minutes? That was simple. Avis, number 41. It's a strong lock, but I would not say it's a pick-resistant lock by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, not compared to one of these. Anyhow, I'm happy picking.